Alignment stops being a once-a-year event and becomes part of how you lead, part of how you run the business. And the vision becomes real, it becomes tangible. You can reach out and touch it. Because the leadership team doesn't just receive the 3HAG, they've helped build it. The CEO isn't coming down from the mountains with the vision carved in stone, handing it over, saying, okay, go away and do this. They've had a part to play in building it. They've said their piece, they've debated it, and they've committed to it together as a group. No one can sit back and say, I don't buy in, because they were part of creating it. And for many leaders, it's the first time they felt truly committed and truly accountable for bringing a business vision to life. It's exciting. Over the last few months, I've interviewed some of my clients that I really, really enjoy working with, who have gone all in on adopting Metronomics in the business. And what they've been telling me has really, really surprised me. I'm bought in. I'm a Metronomics coach, and I'm bought in. I truly believe that what we do is fundamentally different and of huge value to businesses. But not that many people know about Metronomics. And I thought it would be really useful, really valuable to actually share what people are saying, people who have actually gone through the process of adopting Metronomics. What do they say about what they get from doing this? Because I believe that Metronomics is unintentionally one of the best kept secrets in the world of business growth. And if you want to win, and if you want to get results like I'm going to talk through, then maybe Metronomics is for you. So here is an amalgam of some of the things that my clients have told me about how Metronomics has changed them and how it's changed their business for the better. So before Metronomics, running the business felt hard. Like everything took more effort than it should. And even when you were winning, it didn't feel calm. It felt noisy. It felt reactive. It felt heavy. After Metronomics, the first difference you notice is a calm that you didn't think was possible. Not because the business gets easy, because business is never easy, but because the chaos stops running the show. Yeah, the drama that you used to slow things down, it just goes, it just disappears. You have to start with a leadership team, because if the leadership team isn't aligned, then nothing else sticks. But with Metronomics, you start to build leadership teams and then teams that are cohesive. Trust goes up. People are willing to be vulnerable, to ask for help, to challenge each other, and to do it without fear that it'll get used against them later, without the fear that what they say might come back at them later on. And that changes everything. It changes how you feel about the team, your people, and the people that report to your peers. You move from, we've got some good people, but, to, we would fight to keep every one of our employees, and we'd rehire all of them. That becomes a really, really different business to lead. As a leader, that business is so much nicer to lead, to run, to work in. Then execution comes under control. The noise declines over time, and execution, although it's never flawless, but it becomes smoother than it's ever been. You stop living in constant escalation mode, which, as we know, is exhausting. You stop feeling like you're always behind. You stop relying on heroic efforts to hit targets. And once execution is under control, something really powerful happens. Something really powerful happens. You get time back. And it doesn't just give you time to breathe, but it gives you time to work on the business instead of being trapped in the business. And you finally get time to coach and develop the next level of leader so that more gets taken off your plate without things falling apart. Because if you can't get things off your plate, you end up continuing to do the job that kept you working in the business. Once people come and say, I can do that, let me take that, I've got that, I'll take accountability, I'll take responsibility for that, you'll suddenly find that your day frees up and you can start focusing on more market, customer, and employee related things. Now, focusing on the things that really work to drive the business forward. Metronomics also changes how you think about money. You stop obsessing over revenue and you start focusing on cash, because you learn the truth. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, but cash is king. And I know it's a cliche, but that is so, so true. You can start to draw a clear line between the widgets in your business, leads, opportunities, deals, and the outcomes that matter, revenue, profit, and cash flow. You're no longer guessing, you're no longer hoping, you're no longer just rolling the dice in the hope that what you're going to do is going to give you the results that you're looking for. And clarity becomes the new normal. Expectations become clear. Everyone knows what good looks like in their role. They know whether they've had a good day, a good week, a good month, a good quarter, because performance is now measured against scorecards that everyone has agreed to. No more vague accountability, no more shifting goalposts. Even better, people know their numbers and they know when they're off track. But they know that when they're off track, they're going to be supported, not blamed. The finger is not going to point at them because we've created a leadership team that is aligned, that is cohesive, and is ready to support everyone. And that creates ownership without fear. It's really, really refreshing. It's energizing. You can let go knowing that it's not going to come back at you. It's the kind of culture where good people want to stay. And Metronomics also makes you rethink how you define A players, because high performance alone isn't enough. Metronomics forces the cultural conversation too. You stop rewarding people who hit numbers whilst damaging the team, the toxic people. You realize that without cultural alignment, what you thought were A players are actually the toxic C players, the ones that repel the true A players that you want to attract and keep. So there's the irony. The people that you thought were A players are actually pushing, repelling your actual A players away. And then there's forecasting. You gain the ability to see what's likely to happen in 3 months' time, 6 months' time. So you can start to predict what's going to happen in the future, which means that you can start to pull the right levers now to get the results that you want later. You stop being surprised at the outcomes that you should have seen coming because you've got that forecasting ability. You've got a crystal ball that predicts, that lets you see what is going to happen to the business in the future, which gives you the opportunity to be proactive again. You're no longer on the back foot. You start to be able to predict and look forward into the future. You get a line of sight. So you can see how your quarters build into your year, and then how your years build into your 3HAG, your 3-year highly achievable goal. You know if you're on track. You know what matters this quarter, next quarter, and across the year and beyond. And you stop getting distracted by shiny things. Finally, Metronomics changes what strategy means, because strategy isn't a few nice sounding pillars like growth or operational efficiency. Strategy is how you become unique in your market and how you reinforce that differentiation with a plan. A lot of leadership teams discover they never had a shared strategy at all. Everyone had their own version in their head. But with Metronomics, you get clear on your market, your core customer, and your white space and your differentiators. And you're talking about it constantly, and you're refining and evolving and constantly developing strategy, because we revisit it every quarter. An alignment stops being a once-a-year event and becomes part of how you lead, part of how you run the business. And the vision becomes real, it becomes tangible. You can reach out and touch it, because the leadership team doesn't just receive the 3HAG, they've helped build it. The CEO isn't coming down from the mountains with the vision carved in stone, handing it over, saying, okay, go away and do this. They've had a part to play in building it. They've said their piece, they've debated it, and they've committed to it together as a group. No one can sit back and say, I don't buy in, because they were part of creating it. And for many leaders, it's the first time they felt truly committed and truly accountable for bringing a business vision to life. It's exciting, and yes, it can be a little daunting, because highly achievable doesn't mean easy. It means it's what you want to bring to life. But it's also what it feels like to lead a business with confidence. So if what I've talked about here is interesting to you, maybe Metronomics is for you. Maybe you need to dig into Metronomics a little bit more to find out how it could help you get similar results. Now, if you've got this far, you'll know, or you'll work out how to get in touch with me. I think Metronomics is one of the best kept secrets in the world of business growth. And I'd like to get it out to more people. So if anything here resonates with you, get in touch. I'm Jed Roberts. I'm a CEO and leadership team coach, and I've been changing how businesses see the world so they get to ring their bell every quarter for the last 10 years plus.